What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a little update on the vampire tribe and how is it doing with with regards to alchemy. And it is a Sanguine Brushstroke deck, okay? We are running a full play set of the new card from Alchemy, Sanguine Brushstroke. Enchantment that when it enters the battlefield creates a blood token and you conjure a card named Blood Artist onto the battlefield. Now, the majority of the decks that you've seen, on the ladder over the last week or two that are running this card are focusing very much on the sacrifice theme. And they're winning the game mostly by getting lots of little life drains off of having the Blood Artist on the board and the Meat Hook Massacre. You've all seen that deck. They run a full play set of all four of the cheap sacrificial fodders: the Shambling Ghast, the Witch, whatever her name is, the new witch that you draft curses from the spellbook, and Eye Twitch and Deadly Dispute. You know the deck I'm talking about. They're focusing entirely on the sacrifice theme and trying to drain your life, and it's more about the Blood Artist than the Sanguine Brushstroke. They almost have no way of making additional blood tokens in those decks other than the one that the Sanguine Brushstroke makes when it ETBs. So the life gain and life drain that you can get off of those blood tokens in those decks is minimized. It's definitely much more about the sacrifice theme. I wanted to go completely the other way and focus more on the Sanguine Brushstroke and less on the Blood Artist, and so make the deck completely about blood tokens. And of course, of the two, in my opinion, the harder to remove is the Sanguine Brushstroke. The Blood Artist is a 0/1 little creature. It's very easy to get rid of. It invariably ends up in the graveyard, and then you need to run cards like Agadeem's Awakening or whatever to try and bring it back and continue to drain the opponent with the Blood Artist. Whereas Sanguine Brushstroke, even if they kill the Blood Artist, just sits there, and in a deck that's focused solely around blood tokens can sort of create this inevitability. Once you have this big pile of blood tokens and a couple of Sanguine Brushstrokes on the battlefield, you can just dump all your mana into that every turn and pin your opponent down. And of course, we can compound that with many different things in this deck. So the first one is, of course, Anje, Maid of Dishonor. She is a sack outlet for your blood tokens that amplifies the damage. Because you pay 2, sacrifice another creature or blood token. It's cool that it says creature or blood token, so it works with either the Blood Artist or the Sanguine Brushstroke, which is great. And each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So of course, if you're sacrificing a blood token, the Sanguine Brushstroke says that whenever you sacrifice a blood token, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. So that's 3 life gained, 3 life lost for every blood token sacrificed with Anje, as long as Sanguine Brushstroke is on the battlefield. And of course, you can have multiples of those on the battlefield. That would mean 6 damage, and on and on and on. It gets nutty. Sorry, not 6. That would be 7. Sorry, 4. But that's still 4 damage every time you sack a blood token. It kills an opponent quickly. Okay, and if that wasn't it, we're running another new card which I haven't played yet on the channel. Olivia's Attendants, 6 mana, menace, 6/6, and it's kind of like Old Gnawbone, but for blood tokens. So whenever it deals damage, you create that many blood tokens. So if she gets in for even just 1 hit, that's 6 blood tokens. And the cool thing is she has a tapless ability, so you don't have to tap. You can dump as much mana into this as you can. You can pay 3, 2 colorless and a red, and she deals 1 damage to any target. So of course, you would that just creates a blood token straight away, because whenever she deals damage, you create a blood token. So this is like a blood token factory, and of course on a pretty sizey 6/6 menacing body, which can also be game ending. The rest of the deck is pretty standard vampire stuff. We've got one way of bringing back that Blood Artist from the graveyard in the form of the Blood Fountain that says that, well, first of all, when it ETBs, you create a blood token, so great. And then 4 mana, sacrifice it, return 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. You can recast your Blood Artist. I did need to have at least one way in the deck to get him back, just in case. Then a couple copies of Bloodchief's Thirst, because it's epic. Then we've got 3 copies of Falkenrath Pit Fighter and 3 copies of Voldaren Epicure. I sort of went for an even split with the 3 drops, because the first one is great. It's sacrifices itself or another vampire to draw 2 cards. Of course, if you have the Blood Artist in play, whenever a creature dies, you gain life, blah, blah, blah. So it fits the sacrifice theme side of the deck. And then the Voldaren Epicure enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to the opponent, and creates a blood token. So fitting sort of the other plan in the deck. Great little split there. I like that. Then we've got 3 copies of the Voldaren Bloodcaster, which is another great way of making a lot of blood tokens. So whenever it or another non-token creature you control dies, create a blood token. So if you're ever in a position where you have to sweep your own board, I always like it when I'm running creature decks and I'm forced to run a sweeper. In this case, it's Meatuk Massacre. Sometimes you just have to pull the plug. The board is too big, you have to kill your own stuff alongside your opponent's stuff. When you have Voldaren Bloodcaster in play, you get a lot of extra value from sacrificing your creatures. Because for every creature that's on the battlefield, you get a blood token, and your opponent's left with nothing. And then, of course, your Sanguine Brushstrokes don't get swept by the Meatuk Massacre, and then you untap with a bunch of blood tokens and Sanguine Brushstroke on the battlefield. So that's kind of why we can run a couple copies of Meatuk Massacre, which does also sometimes get cast for 0x, just to have it on board, because it works really well alongside the Blood Artist. Then we've got a full play set of the Bloodtithe Harvester, because we did need a little bit more removal, and this is a creature card that is a 2-drop that stands toe-to-toe with, the mono green Werewolf Pack Leader, you name it. Like a 3 power at 2 mana is great, and then so it fits so many. This is like a 3-for-1. It enters the battlefield, creates a blood token, so perfect for the deck. Then when you tap it, sacrifice it, so other part of the deck satisfied. You get a trigger off of the Blood Artist when it dies, and then if you've got the Voldaren Bloodcaster in play when you sacrifice it, you get an additional blood token, and it's a removal card because it deals -X until end of turn, where X is twice the number of blood tokens you control. So you can see how this can quite easily get rid of almost anything quite quickly. You've got like 4 blood tokens in play, that's -8. So sweet card in the deck, absolutely necessary to run a full play set. Meatuk Massacre we've talked about already. We do have 1 copy of the Falkenrath Forebear, and I do want to find a way to bring this up to 2. So we are going to be figuring out during tonight's games which card I can trim 1 of, so that I can go up to a 2 of Falkenrath Forebear, because this is another great little card in this deck where we're trying to really maximize the blood token effects. Basically, it's a 3/1 flyer for 3 that can't block, which is fine. But whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a blood token. And then you can pay 1 black mana when it's in the graveyard, sacrifice 2 blood tokens, and return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. So of course you're paying 1 mana to sacrifice 2 blood tokens, which is much cheaper than you would have to. Usually you have to pay 1 mana per blood token if you're just using them themselves, or if you're using Anje, you have to pay 2 mana to sacrifice 1. Here, if you have Sanguine Brushstroke on the battlefield, you're just paying 1 black mana to sacrifice 2 blood tokens. You get 2 drain and gain off of the Sanguine Brushstroke, and a 3/1 comes back to the battlefield out of the equation. I think that's really, really powerful in this deck, and in testing it was a MVP, so I am trying to find a way to squeeze an additional copy in. Let me know in the comments as well how you would spread out this deck. Which numbers of which things would you put in? What would you cut? I can't for the life of me think of what I would like to trim. But anyway, we're going to run it like this for now. Then we've got 3 copies of Hero's Downfall, because we did need some instant speed removal, and this handles Planeswalkers as well, so great. Then, full playset of Sanguine Brushstroke. Don't need to talk more about this card. Other new card from Alchemy is the Citystalker Connoisseur. And I'm actually starting to really like this one. It's at that point in the game, especially when you're on the draw and you play this guy on turn 4. Your opponent's like usually gearing themselves up to untap and do their like massive like turn 5 play their Goldspan Dragon, play their you know, their Kaya, or you know, their Lolth. You play this thing on turn 4 and they discard the card with greatest mana value among cards in their hand. Usually at that point it's like the best card that they've got left, you know. 4 or 5 turns into the game, they've cast most of their cheap stuff and they're holding on to that bomb, and you just get them to discard it, and you get a death touching 3/3 and you get a blood token. So just a all-round perfect package in this deck, in my opinion. Kind of like the Bloodtithe Harvester, just a 3-for-1. Then it's a tribal deck, so we can run Crippling Fear. We can just name vampires and sweep the board for 3 damage. You know, -3/-3. It's pretty nice. We've talked about Anje already, and the Attendants. So that's the brew. We've just got 1 Hive of the Eye Tyrant, 1 Den of the Bugbear, 1 for Second Crossroad, 2 Fill the Ruins, some basics, and 4 pathways and 4 of the new chill lands. And that's it. Let's jump into some games. If you guys are wondering why I'm not doing any like blue decks, it isn't because I hate blue. I mean, although I do, kind of. It's because I haven't opened that many good blue cards from my Alchemy packs, and I still have to craft some of them. So apologies for the, you know, I still haven't made any Azorius decks in a while with the Alchemy cards, but we'll get there. We'll get there. End of the month, I'm gonna splurge a bit and complete my collection. Just waiting for some money to come in. That's all right. That's alrighty. Macaron. Hello. Okay. Top 4 cards in your library. Pull lands. Reel this way in your hand and rest in your... Ooh, graveyard shenanigans. I bet you he's not going to be happy about those 2 getting milled though. That makes them a lot more expensive. It's cool because when you play this type of thing where you're trying to like slightly change the way it's being played, people expect you to really care about the blood artist leaving the battlefield, but actually I'm all about the blood tokens. Oi. Already this represents like 6 damage. I wonder if he goes for the artist or for the brushstroke. Huh. Okay. At least there's no blood on the snow. I wonder what's going on here. It's gonna be some like big creature that he wants to reanimate or something like that. Sure. Now, do we bring it back? I think so. Badunk. Okay. I have a feeling he's gonna go for his big play now. It's nice to have this removal ready. Could be like a Toxrill. Knew it. So at the beginning of each end step, I'm gonna kill you before that even. Oh, that's juicy. Discard your most Cultivator Colossus in the yard. He's got the mana to reanimate one of these guys. 5, 6, 7, 4. Ooh. I wonder which one he goes for. The Toxrill, of course. It's dreadful. Okay. Every time we kill it, it just keeps coming back. Because he's got another Digraph Rebirth. We have to get rid of it somehow. Guess we just have to keep killing it. Another 2 times. Well, you know, this time plus 1 more. No attacks. Mr. Macaron. Trying to get some ideas for like a reanimator deck like this. I've been trying my hand at it for like what feels like a month now. Sure. No problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's not bringing back. The dude this turn. Is he? Oh, he is. 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Destroy your whole deck? No. Oh, he made a mistake. Alrighty. Let's got one more reanimator. So I'm gonna go for the Toxrill. That's very annoying. Attendants is nice. That's a problem. We may have kind of overplayed our hand with the removal. There was really no way around it. Let's see how we win this. Oh, he got me. The Toxrill. Toxrill is gnarly. Okay. Okay, big layer, the double swing, no, obviously, otherwise I win. Oof. What could I draw? A removal spell will just win me the game. Oh my, are you kidding? That was really, you can see this guy's been playing this deck a lot and kind of refining his craft. That was really well played. Those slugs just look... Ugh. Joe Slucha. Okay, this is it. It's 3 mana per hit. It's not going to be enough. Although I can do this. I win. Oh no. Oh no. Gotcha. We gotcha, dude. Oh, that was beautiful. That was just beautiful. What a card. I don't think he foresaw that. He should have kept up the layer of the Hydra to block with. That was beautiful. I believe he's kicking himself right now. Got him. Alright, on to the next one. God, I love those. When you just think it's over and then you still find a way to navigate the last point of damage through, it's just chef's kiss. Kind of want to not re-roll this because I haven't had a 750 in a while. But again, like I said, I don't have that many of the cool new Alchemy cards. I might have to go back to standard for a little while, and yeah, I think I'm going to do that anyway. Just kind of bounce here and there based on how I'm feeling that day. I think we've given Alchemy a good little test run. It's fun, it's great, I like it, but I'm missing some of the cards, so I'm going to be bouncing back and forth a bit. I want to make an Azorius deck tomorrow, or maybe probably Esper, if I have to be honest. Esper control. Mac Piranha. So always the pattern here is, okay, I'd rather play the Harvester first, then the Bloodcaster. Because then if you do need to tap and sack him to kill something the opponent plays now, when the Bloodcaster is in play, you get the additional. Ooh. Blood Token City. Why not block the 3/2? Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But okay. Do we get to flip a Bloodcaster already? I have a bad feeling there's a Maid Massacre coming our way very soon, unfortunately. Transform. Oh, whoops. Misclick. $5 mouse, everybody. I was supposed to make a bet there. That was really dumb. But maybe, okay, if we get Maid Massacre, that'd be... Oh well. That's also fine. It's also fine. You just took 4 damage to save yourself from taking 5. I'm okay with that. Oops. These lovely ladies. Yeah. Faceless Haven. No good. Okay. Pay to sack the ghast. Kill the forebear, but I can bring the forebear right back. My dear fellow. When you create a blood token, if you control 5 or more, you transform. We could transform it now and get rid of one of these guys. I might be okay, actually. But then... beginning of combat is already passed, so... let's just save that move for next turn. Blood on the snow would just be the worst thing. Okay. Lolth. Lolth is bad.
I will show you what happens when the spider's subservience will be rewarded.
Lolth just saved your ass. Yeah, I got him.
Aren't I generous?
Bye-bye. Woo, baby. Vamps, huh? Vamps still got it. I like Vamps. Vamps are fun. This little bat token has some of the sweetest art. Look at those veins on his wings. Epic. Epic. Admittedly, we did get very lucky there. The opponent didn't draw any of his sweepers, which I'm sure that deck was just crawling with blood on the snoses, and he even drew a bunch of cards there, and we just, I guess, got lucky. But luck is part of the game, after all. On to the next one. This minty flavor I got is so good. Knisrin. Knisrin. That is a terrible hand. A little bit better. Tiny bit better. That's right. Is it going to be gruel or mono green? Mono green so far. Sure thing, bro. Sure, bro. I'm kind of quite happy to take that trade. I'm kind of unhappy I didn't draw a black source there. Fortunately, the Faceless Haven is going to make the pup bigger, because it counts as a wolf. That's a 6 damage hit coming through. Woohoo! That's a good hit. Freaking brawl, huh? Come on, black, or we'd lose. Let's go. Mana not doing what it's supposed to there, I'm afraid. Not collaborating at all, deck. How dare you? How dare you? Any of you guys played this decathlon? I haven't even looked at it yet. I need to check that out tomorrow. Japel. Japel. Okay. I'll keep it tentatively. Hello. Good game. Our opponent appears to be having some internet connection issues. Or is it us? Nope. Oh wow. Is it gonna be a mirror or is it gonna be mono red aggro that just happens to play the Pit Fighter? More and more like a mirror here. Interesting choice to play the Skull Cairn. More blood tokens is fine. This thing costs a lot of mana. It's 4. And you need, you need 5 because you have to also have this one in play. Yeah, definitely vampires. Okay. Okay, doesn't go for the swing. I was sure he would there. Two mana to go before we can play the Attendant. Ooh. So Cleric, Warrior, Rogue. I've been trying to do this one for a while now as well. And there's also, this is a wizard. So the party vamp guy is pretty sweet. And now all of them have death touch. That's no joke. Ooh. If only this cost 3 instead of 4. A little bit expensive. I like that they still blood tokens, you can still sacrifice it and just, draw a card off of the bats. I think was a really good idea. Token artifact creature blood bat. That's pretty bad. Hard to navigate this one, I think. But we'll see. Never say never. Got rid of his Zagreus. He's kind of also just top decking. Yes, yes. Ba-dunk, ba-dunk. Whew. It's 2 damage per creature cast. Stuff it. You could just have like 2 play with fire, you know. That's why I was so terrified. Oh, you little bugger. He looks at the top 3 cards because it took 3 damage from the Skull Cairn. Starting to see why he ran it now. I kind of like that idea. Maybe just put a sneaky one of in this brew as well. There's just no way around this. On to the next one. That cemetery guy, I don't know. Especially the, I mean, it just won him the game, clearly, but I don't know. It's a bit weird. It does damage to you too, so I can't think of a deck that I would want to run it in. It's not the type of card that I like. But a pity there. Maybe I should have used my removal on that guy and not the one with Menace. But I was worried about the Menace and the life gain. I should have used that Blood Chief's Thirst on the Cemetery Keeper, for sure. In retrospect, that was the misplay of the game, for sure. Alright, I think we've arrived at the final match of the night. Let's try and end on a win, huh? Very nice. Very, very nice. 1 red, 2 black. Nice hand. Little curve action. Oop. Second brushstroke off the top. Another mirror? Or is it going to be dragons or something? Ooh, Grixis. Jawari Disruption. Okay. Why the pause? Interesting. You don't want to take 2 damage. You're really going to use up some removal on that. Sure. I get a blood token. Okay. Definitely dragons. We just have to be lucky, you know, that he doesn't have a whelp yet. But dunk. Yeah, 5 colored dragons detected. Discard that gold span, please. Ooh, even nicer hit. That feels lovely. Ow. Nice. Might still be able to pull this one out of the bag. Now the whelp comes. I bet you wanted that one much earlier. Yeah, I've seen a line, because this guy can now be replayed. Three will kill. Okay. This is gonna do it. Game over, baby. Got him. Sanguine Brushstroke is just so good. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. A couple of really sweet wins, and I really liked that at Olivia's Attendants win we got in the beginning against the Toxrill player. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to just quickly dive back into the deck so we can have some final thoughts on the matter. I think it's really powerful, honestly. I'm just piloting it not perfectly. I've been spending the last 3 days just non-stop piloting the Esper Clerics list. That's got me to Diamond. It's so I'm like really used to those play patterns, and I haven't been playing with this one much, but I feel like with a couple of adjustments, this is a really strong deck. Anje and Sanguine Brushstroke together, and then that Olivia's Attendants top end is groovy. I think it's a really powerful archetype, this blood tokens thing, and Sanguine Brushstroke was really all that was needed to make it come together. And I like how we got a win both ways. That last win with the Meat Hook Massacre and the Blood Artist getting us the kill, and you know, a couple of good wins earlier in the day with the Sanguine Brushstroke. So that's the deck. I'm not going to make any adjustments. You will find this list in the video description down below for you to copy and enjoy. I will see you all tomorrow for some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.